Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, or should I say aloha. This is Mr. Bud, Jonathan Bud. For those of you who are meeting for the first time, I'm the CEO of Powur, and I am so ridiculously excited that you are here tonight because the subject of tonight's conversation is so near and dear to my heart. First off, because I absolutely love the islands of Hawaii. It is like my second home. If I wasn't so committed to the business and the industry and everything that we're doing across the country right now, I honestly think I would probably want to move to Hawaii and live there. So aloha, welcome to all the people from the islands. But really, what we're going to be discussing tonight and why I'm so passionate about this and why the person who invited you here is so passionate about this and why we hope that you get so passionate about this is because we're fundamentally talking about the sustainability of how human beings live on planet Earth today. And really, we're talking about, in addition to that, it's crazy to me that the Hawaiian Islands currently run off of diesel fuel. Just absolutely crazy to me. That the way that everybody in Hawaii gets energy is burning diesel gas. When you are in one of the most beautiful places in the world, you have so much incredible sunshine, you have as much clean green energy as anyone could ever want, and yet you're burning, the Hawaiian Islands are burning one of the dirtiest fuels out there, emitting huge amounts of carbon and paying an exorbitant amount. I mean, literally getting fleeced by the utilities in your energy costs just to live on that island. So if we can change that, if we can do something that fundamentally will change how people in Hawaii produce energy, now that's going to be a pretty darn cool thing. If we can actually impact, people's pocketbooks, homeowners across Hawaii, and collectively save millions or even billions of dollars in energy costs. So people are keeping their hard-earned money and creating more financial security. That's a pretty amazing thing. So that's why we're here tonight. And if by doing that, we can actually show all of you, every single person on the line, a chance to create all of this and also be rewarded yourself for doing so, that's even better. I mean, that's just like the triple win. So give me 1 second because I'm trying to get a special guest presenter on the line tonight. And then we will get started with tonight's presentation. Okay, so hopefully he's able to join us. I would love for you guys to hear from this man. But I want to start by asking you all a question. Now that I've sort of set the context for what tonight's about, why we're so excited you're here, especially if you're from the islands. This question usually hits people, square in the face, because when you really think about it, there's not really a human being alive today in some way that doesn't use energy, that isn't connected to energy in some way, shape, or form. We take it completely for granted, but it is as core of a product to our lives, as core of a resource to our lives, as is food, as is water. If energy were to disappear, society would disappear. And one of the funny questions that I often ask is, what would you pay first? A mortgage or an energy bill? And that's telling to a lot of people because you're going to pay your energy bill before you pay your mortgage every time. Just in terms of order of priority, you can't even turn your lights on or heat your food or anything if your energy goes off. So this is an incredibly important commodity, an incredibly important product that is a necessity for all humans. And that's what makes it the largest industry in the world. It's a $6 trillion annual market. $6 trillion. But there is a major problem with how energy is produced today. And this is pretty much exacerbated the most out of almost any place I've ever heard of in the Hawaii on the Hawaiian Islands. So for starters, Hawaii has the most expensive electricity in all of the United States. Anybody who lives on Hawaii is nodding their head right now because you understand how painful those electric bills are. On average, you pay 38 to 41 cents a kilowatt hour, which is just extraordinarily expensive, and it's continuing to get even more expensive. How we predominantly produce our energy is dirty. For most of the world, it's coal and gas right now, and coal is horribly toxic. It emits all sorts of carcinogens into the air. It destroys the earth when we dig coal up. It strips, mountains, land, minerals. It's an incredibly damaging fuel. Same thing with gas. I mean, the methane emissions alone from the gas leaks. We had a horrendous gas leak in California last year at the Porter Ranch, which everybody in California made national news. It was emitting 25% of California's daily carbon emissions from one gas leak. Absolutely horrendous. And they had to evacuate. Thousands of people were sick and just suffering. It was crazy. So it just doesn't make sense to produce energy like that if there's a better way. This is something that I don't think a lot of people think about a lot of times. Scarcity. The way we're primarily getting energy today is from a scarcity paradigm. There's only so much of these commodities, coal, oil, gas, and when we run out of them, they're gone forever. And I think that that's really put the world in a scarcity mindset almost, where, we're clinging to everything because if it's gone, then there's like this secret fear that, we're all going to die or something weird like that. Contrasted to an abundance paradigm where you have limitless amounts of everything you need. There's limitless amounts of energy. There's limitless amounts of resources. I think that we're really living in a scarcity paradigm because these are commodities, and eventually they're all going to disappear. They're all going to be gone, and we know that if we don't figure out another way to replace them, then society is done unless we figure this out. In the last, sort of hallmark of energy today is that we are dependent on utilities. So we're not actually in control of our own power. We're dependent. And I don't know about you, but I don't like being dependent on too many people for too much. Never mind, something like energy. If I had the ability to be completely energy independent and not be dependent on a utility, not, be susceptible to their rate hikes, to their cost, to their choice of dirty energy or whatever. And worst case scenario, if something happened, if the grid went down, if there was a terrorist attack, if there was a natural disaster, if there was, some sort of crisis and the grid is down, I don't want to be down with the grid. So, that dependency, I think, is another major thing that you don't think about until something happens. But if something happens, we should be prepared. So that's energy today. And what I'm telling everyone on the line is that by being involved with Powur, you have the ability to change this. You have the ability to completely change how the world produces energy. You have the ability to completely solve one of the biggest challenges that is facing our world today. And my God, what an amazing reason to get out of bed every morning. What an amazing reason to know the work we do really matters. And also, one of my favorite quotes, the bigger the challenge, the bigger the opportunity. And that's what I want to show you guys next. We're living in an era of platform disruption. So here's what I mean by that. Facebook disrupted all the media companies by creating a platform, a social platform where every single human being can basically become their own source of media. And we're now getting social media from each other. And we've become pretty much, the biggest sources of new information and media. It's Facebook. I'm on Facebook a million times more than I'm on, Fox News or CNBC or any of these news stations. I don't even know if I ever even watch those news stations anymore, but I'm watching Facebook a lot. And guess what? So are 1.5 billion other people who spend, an enormous amount of time on social media. Well, that's why Facebook is valued at $350 billion. and MSN is valued at like $3 billion or something crazy. They completely disrupted media by turning media into a platform that was people powered. Then Uber did the exact same thing with transportation. Instead of these big giant, national transportation companies, Uber made a platform that allowed anyone to be a driver. If somebody needed a ride, they connected somebody who wanted to give a ride, and now they have 1 million people driving for Uber every single day. And they're the most valuable startup in the history of the world at $68 billion. How they do it? They're a platform. They didn't try to go out there and hire 1,000 taxi, drivers, or a million and buy 1 million cars. They create a platform that connected people who had a car to people who wanted a ride. Airbnb did the exact same thing to the hospitality industry. Airbnb is now the largest hotel company in the world. They rent over 550,000 rooms a night. Here's the kicker. They don't own a single hotel. They don't own a single room. They created a platform that allowed anyone to offer a room in their house or their whole house or whatever it is to somebody looking for one, and they just take a cut, right? Airbnb takes a cut, and they're empowering people who have rooms or homes to get paid by sharing rooms with other people. All across the world, you're seeing rise of platforms that are doing the exact same thing. Kickstarter disrupted funding by making it possible for anybody to raise money, which, by the way, Powur is involved in another history-making event right now. We just recently launched our crowdfunding campaign on WeFunder, which is the largest equity crowdfunding platform in the world. And we're breaking all the records. We've actually raised more money in 7 days than any previous company in history. So we're actually making use of all of these darn platforms to build our own platform. And really, what's crazy is that no one else has done this to Powur, or until Powur. So we have built the world's first international solar energy platform. Solar energy is quickly becoming one of the largest sources of energy production in the world. Hundreds of billions of dollars were spent on renewable energy last year, developing renewable energy projects. Solar energy in America is already a $20 billion plus annual industry. There's $20 billion of solar being sold every year in America, and that's nothing. That's like scratching the tip of the iceberg. We're only at 2%, less than 2% market penetration across the country. Less than 2%. So we're talking trillions of dollars of solar energy to be sold, and Powur has built the first platform, just like Uber or Airbnb. We connect homeowners who are prime candidates for energy savings, for cost savings, with the best local and regional solar providers in their area, so that they can get free quotes, evaluate which quote makes the most sense for their home, and sign on the dotted line, go solar, have it cost nothing out of pocket, and begin saving money immediately, producing their own clean energy from their own solar system on top of their roof, become energy independent, increase the value of their home, and just the benefits, just continue to go on and on and on and on. It's pretty much insane why one of our homeowners who connects to one of our providers and gets a proposal, as long as the economics make sense and there's no shade blocking their home or anything like that, it's crazy to spend more money on dirty energy from a utility that's going to continue to charge you more money every single year than owning your own energy source for a lot less money, having it cost nothing out of pocket, and being green and clean and doing your part for the environment and the future generations. I mean, why would anyone not do that? So we have actually built an international network. We just announced the launch of Canada and Puerto Rico, and we have over 40 solar installers who are currently on our platform servicing our customers. So we are the new clean energy platform for the world. There's no other company like it doing what we're doing. We have unprecedented solar energy coverage across the United States already, soon to be the world. And obviously, the reason why we're talking tonight is Hawaii. And we are so excited to bring an exceptional new service to Hawaii that any homeowner in Hawaii, anybody who lives in Hawaii, I think you are going to be blown away when you see what we're bringing to market. So let me just quickly go through the benefits, because I don't want to assume that you know about zero down solar and what solar is today and why it has become the sort of default energy source for our future, why it's inevitable that this is going to be the energy source for our future, and the role that you can play in making that happen and reaping in the trillions of dollars that are going to change hands. So here's why zero down solar is disrupting the energy market as we know it, and why Hawaii is already over 15 to 20% solar adoption. Everybody in Hawaii, I'm not telling you anything you probably don't know, because you drive down the street and 20% of every home's already gone solar. We're going to talk about that in a minute. So the reason why it's disrupting everything is because you can start saving money day number one. You can become energy independent. You can go green, which tremendous amounts of people want to do their part by producing clean energy for our world. You can increase the value of your home. You pay absolutely nothing out of pocket, and you can save thousands or even tens of thousands of dollars long term. I'm not kidding when, this money gets really significant. Like some people, some of our clients are literally putting their kids through college off the savings on their energy bills from going solar. That's no small thing, no small amount. So the reason why is really simple. I'm going to give you just one analogy to understand this, okay? So right now, the utility company is producing energy from whatever way they're producing energy, right? They're either burning coal. In Hawaii, they're burning diesel fuel. Maybe they're burning, natural gas. So whatever they're doing to produce energy, they're doing. Then they're charging you a premium for that energy. Okay, so you need to understand that you're not paying for energy at cost. You're paying retail rates for your energy prices. What you're really paying for is the $25 million CEO bonus that the utility company pays the CEO every year. You're paying for all of the workers and transmission lines and the massive infrastructure that it takes to operate and maintain that grid. You're paying for all the expensive equipment and machinery to dig up all these fossil fuels. You're paying for the loss of efficiency as that energy travels from a power plant, hundreds of miles or thousands of miles to get to your home and loses efficiency along every step of the way. You're paying for all of that every single time you pay your electric bill. Now contrast that to going solar with Powur. Essentially, we're going to allow you to be your own utility. So instead of buying energy at retail, massive retail rates from a utility, why not install your own power plant on your own rooftop? And instead of paying out of pocket to install your own power plant on your own rooftop, why not finance it with a low-cost solar loan so that the financing payment every month is less than what you were paying your utility anyway? So you're saving money day number one, but now you're producing your own energy at cost. Do you get the difference? There's nobody charging you a premium. You're producing your own energy at cost, okay? That energy that energy travels directly from your rooftop into your freaking home or into your battery, as we're going to talk about in a moment. So there's no loss of efficiency. And once you pay off your loan, well, then you never pay for energy again. Never again. You're producing your own energy every month. You have no electric bill, no loan payment. It's literally 100% ROI on your energy costs every single month because your own utility, you have your own power plant that sits on top of your roof and produces you money and energy all day long. I mean, why the heck would anyone not do this? And I hope you're starting to understand why this is inevitable. This is a no-brainer. The opportunity that we're offering everyone with Powur is to be part of creating the future, to be part of this movement to change how the world produces energy, and whatever your financial goals are, which we'll talk about in a little bit, really get rewarded to do something tremendous, to do something absolutely game-changing. So before I go on, let me just see if we were able to get Stuart back here. Stuart, I'm going to try to unmute you. Hey, Stuart.
I'm on the phone. I'm on the phone here. I wasn't able to get online on the computer, but I'm on the phone.
Oh, this is perfect, Stuart. Wonderful. So I can hear you loud and clear, my friend. So
Excellent.
this is great. So I'm going to pull you on in just 1 second. But welcome. I want to give you a proper introduction. So, ladies and gentlemen, before we get to this next section, I kind of just want to touch upon why what you're hearing tonight is so special. And before I do that, I want to hit these two topics. So when we talk about decentralized versus centralized, essentially centralized energy is power that's controlled by a central source or a utility or a monopoly or a government. You don't really have any control over that, right? You're kind of at the whims of whatever this central source is. Decentralized means that we control our power, right? Power is controlled by a local source. It's people everywhere actually controlling their power, in charge of their power. And the missing piece to this entire equation, because we have decentralized energy production right now. We can install solar panels on your roof, and we have decentralized energy production. We don't need a central source to produce energy anymore. You can produce energy on your own rooftop. You can do it way cheaper than that central source. You are a way better candidate to produce your own energy than buying energy from a utility. But what we were missing up until this point was storage. Where do we put the energy? So once you produce the energy, where do you put it? Where does it go? And right now, the energy is going back into the grid. So we're using the grid as a battery. And, this is fine and dandy as long as you have net metering policy. So in most of the United States, there's net metering policy, which basically it's policy that says if you put a kilowatt of energy into the grid, you're going to get a kilowatt of energy back from the grid. And that's all fine and dandy. The grid works great to be our battery as long as net metering's in place. But what we're seeing around the world, particularly in Hawaii, when solar started to become so popular and so many people were going solar that it literally threatened the utilities business model altogether, that they saw that they were going to be completely obsolete in a very short period of time, they started messing with net metering policy and tampering with people's ability to go solar. So everybody's been waiting for when are we going to have batteries so that we can store our own energy and we can become completely independent from the grid altogether. Because that's the holy grail that I think everyone really wants, is cost-efficient, affordable energy production and energy storage so that we can get the benefits of being our own producer of clean energy, saving money, feeling phenomenal about having an abundant, limitless source of energy that we never have to question because the sun's going to come up tomorrow, pretty darn sure. But now coupling that with batteries, which is what we're going to introduce you guys to tonight, this is truly going to change the game on planet Earth. It's going to change the game in Hawaii, which we are now launching in partnership with the Hawaii Solar Project. We are launching an extraordinary product line that we're going to introduce you to tonight across Maui, Oahu, and Kauai. But I want to bring on Stuart Graham here, who is the Vice President of Sales at Hawaii Solar Project. And, I just want to say that in the brief time that I've known Stuart, he's just one of the most sort of calm, collected, and sort of knowledgeable people that I've really ever met in the solar industry, who clearly has an extraordinary passion for this product. And actually I've come to know is very experienced and familiar with our business model as well, and sort of the whole mission of what Powur's up to, and building communities and tribes of people that are impacting their own markets and changing how the world produces energy. And when he was telling me about this product originally, and I forget how we got connected, it was one of our amazing Powur advisors actually. But my jaw just literally hit the floor. And like as soon as I heard Stuart talking about this, I was just absolutely sold. And Stuart heads up again. He's essentially the director of sales at the Hawaii Solar Project, which is one of the most exceptional organizations all across Hawaii. But I'm not gonna steal his thunder. I'm gonna let Stuart share a little bit more about Hawaii Solar Project and the product that we're bringing to market, because it's just really exciting. Stuart, it's an honor to have you really glad you were here. And yeah, why don't you tell us a little bit about Hawaii Solar Project?
Thanks, Jonathan. Thanks, Jonathan, for the introduction. Let me just first of all start by saying this. I am more than impressed by what I'm seeing with Powur. I've had the privilege of meeting with 2 homeowners in the last 2 days that have been referred by Powur. Not only were they excellent candidates for our solar product, but they were also phenomenal people, and they also happen to be both distributors as well. So very, very, very impressed. Let me first of all sort of outline where we are in Hawaii and what has happened and where we're going with solar. Hawaii really is the cutting edge of solar. And what's happening here will be happening in the U.S. mainland within the next few years. With the utilities here, we had net metering like everywhere else. The utilities then decided, hey, there's too much solar, it's potentially dangerous. We're going to change the rules. And they brought in a thing called customer grid supply, which meant that whenever you put the power into the grid, you were paid a wholesale rate. Whenever you pulled the power out, you were then paid a retail rate, not so good for the consumer. That only lasted a very short period of time, and then eventually the utility decided, that's it, no more solar. And that was the advent of the program that we now have. And the program that we now have is truly a phenomenal program. We were faced with the dilemma, how do we offer people solar if there is no longer a utility participation? And what we've developed is a solar and battery solution. So essentially, to make this happen, 2 things needed to occur. First of all, we needed to have the right technology from a battery perspective. We needed the prices to come down, and then we needed to have financing. And in the last 6 months, all of that has fallen into place. We now have high-end lithium-ion batteries. We tend to use LG as the battery of choice, but we're open to any battery. The prices have come down literally in the last 6 months by about 40 to 50%. We have financing where a homeowner can qualify for financing for the solar and battery. And even if we have to add in other products like solar hot water, we can now bundle it all in one financing package with no money down. So what we're offering to a homeowner is the opportunity to have energy independence, where we can give them solar and battery, which will not only reduce their monthly bill, but it will also give them power in the event of a blackout. So if there's a blackout, everyone else would be in darkness, but our customers literally would have power, which is coming from their battery. That would get them through the night. The next morning, whenever the sun shines, the battery charges, and these batteries charge within 2 hours. Battery charges, and literally they could go on indefinitely providing power for the essential needs that they have, which would be their lights, their fridge, their freezer, their TV, etc. On top of that, we're also offering 16 months free. In other words, a homeowner that comes on board literally will not pay anything for the financing for the first 16 months. That gives us time to build the system and gives the homeowner time to acquire the tax credits, because this is not a lease. This is where the homeowner is actually purchasing the system, gives them the time to get the tax credits and reduce their capital balance so their payment is actually lower. So it is a phenomenal program from a homeowner's perspective. To qualify, they simply need a 680 credit score, a reasonable debt-to-income ratio, and so far we have had very little problem getting people to qualify. Most people here, whenever they realize that they can finally be independent from the utility, are tremendously excited. No one here tends to be a big fan of the utility. So to offer them the opportunity to have energy independence, lower their bill, have energy backup, and fix their costs for 20 years is absolutely phenomenal. And we believe that what Powur is doing is the future. Being able to create a community where people can, by referring their friends, neighbors, and relatives to look at a solar option is the way to go. And there's a tremendous opportunity in Hawaii. We were saying that 15 to 20% of the people here have solar. The converse of that is 80% of people do not have solar, and many people who wanted solar early on were in areas that were saturated and were not able to obtain solar. So the market here is huge. We have the highest rate for electricity in the United States, so people are highly motivated to save money, have energy independence, and also contribute to the environment at the same time. Hawaii Solar Energy, we have representatives here in Kauai, which is where I am today, in Maui, which is where I was yesterday, and also in Oahu. So we're able to service all three islands, and very shortly we will also be servicing the Big Island as well. We look forward to meeting you guys as distributors, meeting your homeowners, providing the service. All we need in order to give someone a proposal is their utility bill. And again, we're so delighted with the new feature where the utility bill is actually attached whenever someone comes on board, and they're now asked to upload their utility bill. That's phenomenal. Along with that, we need a short questionnaire to determine how they use electricity within their home and when they use electricity in their home, so we can decide how much solar they need, how much battery they need, and come up with a solution that's going to work for that specific family and their needs. So in concluding, we're very excited. We love what you guys are doing, and so far I'm extremely impressed by what I've seen. Jonathan, back to you.
Stuart, thank you so much, my friend. It is wow. I'm pumped up about this. Selfishly, because I really want to be taking a lot more business trips to Hawaii, and to get, to have the team out there. Yeah, I want to be in Hawaii a heck of a lot more. But also just because, we've worked with companies in the past in Hawaii, and they were only able to do, one little part of Oahu or whatever it was. And, for us to be starting on every zip code in Maui, Kauai, Oahu, and now going to the Big Island, I mean, this is just an opportunity for anyone who knows people in Hawaii or wants a business in Hawaii to override, millions and millions of dollars, maybe even billions of dollars of clean energy products that are going to be sold to homeowners who are looking to escape their utility and become their own utility and do the right thing for the planet and the right thing for their pocketbook. So it just makes a lot of sense. So thank you so much, Stuart. You're a rock star, and we're looking forward to a great relationship.
Well, same here, Jonathan, absolutely. And just one last thing. We try to serve the needs of the customers depending upon what it is that they need. So just again, to add to what I was saying, we will do solar PV and battery. We'll look at solar hot water. We'll look at solar AC. Anything that is energy saving, residentially, commercially, we're involved in. So we look forward to receiving the referrals and helping everyone in the network to make some serious money.
That is the next point of our conversation. So real quick, everyone, I'm going to walk you guys through how the process with Powur works. So essentially, the first stage of our process is that we have a conversation with a homeowner who wants to save money on their electric bill and be green and clean. It's pretty much that simple. And it's a really easy conversation. We collect a utility bill from the homeowner. And that's a simple conversation. We need to essentially always say is, hey, can I see a copy of your utility bill so I can see if we can save you money or not? So we collect that utility bill. We submit that bill through the Powur platform to in this case, Hawaii Solar Project, which is our provider in Hawaii. The next step is we'll actually connect the homeowner with Stuart and his amazing team so that they can set up an appointment. Now, when the homeowner actually has an appointment and reviews the proposal that Hawaii Solar Project generates, you get paid. So Hawaii is a tier 1 appointment market. So you can actually get paid $30 every single time one of your homeowners has an appointment with Hawaii Solar Project. And you can actually make money off all of the appointments that are happening inside the team that you build when you refer people to Powur as well. The next stage is that the homeowner is going to sign a contract to go solar with Hawaii Solar Project. And the last stage is installation. So on the day that the system actually gets installed, there's a second commission milestone, and now you're earning a piece of the entire sale. So depending on the size of the system, you can earn as essentially as big of a system as somebody gets. You have upside in the entire thing. So the bigger the system, the more money that you make, and it's not insubstantial. You know, the average check in Powur is somewhere around $600. If somebody does a bigger system, you know, you could get paid over $1,000 just for referring a single homeowner. And again, you know, all we're really doing is, you know, having the first conversation, collecting a utility bill, and connecting them to our amazing partners at Hawaii Solar Project to have an appointment. So we are dominating the entire U.S. market right now in terms of solar coverage. There's no other platform like us in the world today. These are just some of the markets we're in. 28 different states across America already. Obviously, you know, entering into Hawaii, Kauai, Oahu, and Maui. So once you have a license to our platform, guys, you're actually open to do business in all of these states. The total addressable market right now is about $2 trillion. So, you know, we are the category creator. You know, we created this graphic just because anytime you're the first to market, it doesn't matter what industry you look at. If you're first to market and you create the category, you're usually a multiple bigger than all of your closest competitors. So direct sales is a $250 billion annual industry. It pays over $200 million per day in commissions to people just like me and just like you, just out there sharing products we're really passionate about with people we know. Powur is the first company to bring sustainable energy in this whole solution. All these products we've been talking about with you tonight, we're the first company to be doing this. That's pretty amazing because, you know, if you really see the size of this industry and where this is going, you have the chance to be at the ground floor of what could be a multi-billion-dollar category creating clean energy company in direct sales. So I hope that gets you really excited. Now, what should get you even more excited is how much money we pay. So we look at ourselves like a platform, just like Uber, just like Airbnb. So we pay just as much money as Uber or Airbnb. We pay out 70% of every dollar that transacts across our platform. So you heard from Stuart, you heard, you know, about the product tonight. When you refer 3 homeowners in Hawaii, who, as you heard, you know, are not crazy about the utility. Nobody's in love with the utility on Hawaii. So you refer 3 homeowners to become completely independent from their utility, produce their own clean energy, save tons of money. Just for referring 3 homeowners, we're going to pay you a $2,000 cash bonus, in addition to the commissions that you're going to earn on your sales. So you're going to earn commissions, and we're going to pay you a $2,000 bonus. We're going to pay you a percentage of all of the installation revenue that happens that you do and your team does. So as you refer other people to Powur and say, hey, come check out this amazing platform. We're like the Uber for solar energy in giving homeowners energy freedom and cost savings across America. We're going to pay you a percentage of every single sale that happens in your team and that you do as well. We're going to pay you appointment revenue on all of the appointments that happen in your team and that you do as well, which is really exciting. And we've got a bonus we pioneered called the lead acquisition bonus. And so as you actually go out there and invite people to our platform, and those people refer homeowners who have appointments, we pay lead acquisition bonuses, and you can actually earn up to $750 per lead acquisition bonus on every single advisor joining your team as you move up the positions of power. So the way that I like to talk about our revenue plan is that, we're a benefit corporation, okay? What that means is that our purpose as a corporation is positive impact on society. But we don't want to be a nonprofit. People volunteer their time at nonprofits because they got to go to work and they got to have a job, but they want to do something that's meaningful. They want to do something that's purposeful. Well, we created a benefit corporation, which means that our purpose is to solve the challenge of sustainable energy in the world and usher in this new era of product and energy and sustainability. But we want you to be able to earn a livelihood while you're doing it. We want you to be able to focus hours a week, right? Maybe it's part-time, 3, 4, 5 hours a week, and get paid for a cause and a mission and a purpose that you're passionate about. And if you just so happen to want to go full-time, we have a lot of people in Power that are full-time, that this is what they do every day. They wake up and they shift the way the world produces energy. Guess what? There's a plan for that. We can show people how to go full-time in this platform. Our vision with creating this revenue plan was to give people a way to earn as little or as much money as they want, doing something that excites them so much for being able to solve one of the biggest challenges in the world today. So that's why we created our revenue plan. So you get an unlimited license to our platform, which is a national license. You get your own fully replicated Powur.com website. So if you have not been to whoever invited you here's website, go to their website. It's beautiful. It's amazing. It explains all of this. You get your own website, fully replicated, as a license with Powur. You get landing pages, marketing funnels, different business tools to share with your clients and educate your clients and homeowners. We will train you in our solar professional certification. You'll learn all about the industry and just become much more educated, professional in the space. We have live weekly trainings that we're doing all the time to help you reach your goals and help you get better and better and better. It's $4.99 one time. One time. If you were to start a solar business, ask Stuart how much it costs. It probably costs hundreds of thousands of dollars to start Hawaii Solar Project. If you were to franchise a solar business, you're probably looking at hundreds of thousands of dollars. You have an unlimited license to our platform one time, all these benefits for $4.99, which is just insane to be in business as your own CEO of your own international clean energy company for less than $500. Last thing I'm going to say before I encourage everyone to get back in touch with who invited you here tonight, there is something called first mover advantage. And if you're on the line tonight, this is very relevant to you. This is the first webinar we've ever done for the Hawaii Islands and for this groundbreaking, revolutionary product that's coming to Hawaii. Holy smokes. This is a real estate play, everybody. Once you get those rooftops, forget it. It's done. The game is over. You're going to own that customer for 30, 40 years, all right? So there is major first mover advantage here. If you're the first person to introduce homeowners, you're going to have the clients. If you're the first person to introduce new people who would be excited about becoming an advisor in Power, you're going to have a big team. If this goes viral across the Hawaiian Islands like we think it's about to, think about the impact that could have on your life by being the first to bring this incredible product, this incredible opportunity to the islands. And hopefully you recognize the imperative need to take action. Legacy money is created at this stage. There are people who are going to leave legacies by being involved in Power right now. I hope you are one of those people. So it is my sincere intention that you make the decision to join us tonight. Come be part of this epic quest to change how the world produces energy, to free the Hawaiian Islands from the monopoly utilities and the diesel fuel that's destroying our planet and destroying their pocketbooks. Let's change the world, and let's put money and rewards and wealth back in your hands for doing it. So make the decision to join us. Get back in touch with the person who invited you here. Get signed up. We will show you how to set appointments and kick your business off tomorrow. so that Stuart and the amazing team at Hawaii Solar Project can be closing deals and saving your homeowners money and doing what we do. So thank you so much for joining us tonight. We're so excited about the launch of Hawaii. Get back in touch with who invited you here. I look forward to meeting you on the island soon. Aloha, mahalo. We'll see everybody in a bit.